In this video, we are going to cover when to rotate to loot. In Arena Breakout, we are also joined by Kiwi, who is currently the #2 player in Arena Breakout, and he will be offering his unique experience and knowledge for the community to learn and grow. I will present a theory, what my current belief and conclusion of a subject is. He will correct it or confirm if it is correct based on his experience. I will ask questions along the way for us to understand and learn fully together. When to loot in Arena Breakout is a question that is at the core of this game, which answers everything: when to fight, how to fight, why to fight, when and where to rotate, when to extract. I recommend starting from the beginning of this playlist, which is linked in description, to learn everything about when to loot in Arena Breakout, and fully understand as it is broken down in order. However, each video you will learn from it standalone useful information.
So say for example you had a fight between say for example you're on top of Spawn Hill and someone shoots you from radar station, and you know they might be an aggressive player, or in general a lot of the time people won't run at you straight. They'll either camp on radar, or what I do is I tend to push slightly towards gas station. I don't cross the river, but I run up past hospital there because there's a lot of cover from Spawn Hill. So you will be able to rotate, one, without them seeing you as much, and two, without them being able to shoot you, and then know you're going there. I don't know.
So from gas station, you're saying that if you go along the route close to the hospital, then you're more hidden from the Spawn Hill, where they might be waiting to snipe you.
You mentioned something about the importance of your opponents not seeing you. I'd say on some maps, yes, but then on Armory map not so much, because like I said, suppressors aren't as important on Armory, but I feel like they're significantly more important on Northridge, because if you can take some shots at an enemy or an enemy squad and you can kill a couple of them and be able to rotate without them knowing where you were in the first place, does help a lot. It is a significant advantage. Say even if they saw you once you shot them in even on your first confrontation and you still managed to rotate, it's like I think depending on how fast you get down, if you can get down without them shooting you too much, and you don't have to do much healing, and you can start rotating immediately, it still does give you an advantage. But from when I fight people and say I don't see them once they've taken one of us out, I do spend a little bit trying to see where they are before I start rotating, because they could be anywhere. They could be 50 meters out, they could be 200 meters out. Now if I'm trying to rotate someone where they're 50 meters away from me, but they're actually in reality they're 150, maybe 200 meters away, I'll just run straight into them if they stay there, and if they rotate, we'll probably never see them again.
Right, I see. So on Armory, you would say that you take some time before rotating as well, just to gather information and make sure you can't see them looking towards you, and then you move along the route that's less visible, but it's not as much concern because there's a lot of cover around we can quickly get into.
Now, a lot of play styles on Armory from Spawn Hill, if someone's camping on Spawn Hill, most likely they're not gonna move. They are gonna stay there because they think it's the power position, which gives me or my team the advantage to rotate from hospital where they won't see me or see us, as they won't be as likely to know we're coming from that angle or direction, and get up close to them, and where we have the advantage. Say we had FALs and they had M110s, both same ammo type, but FALs would be, arguably better at close range than the M110 would be, so you'd have that advantage of the close range. And also, I must admit, when I'm shooting people with a sniper rifle, I see their tier 5 or tier 6s, I don't see them for a little bit, next thing I know, they're right next to me, I do panic a little bit, and like it can put me in jeopardy because I can, make a mistake. I'm under stress, I can make mistakes, stuff like that.
Yes, I see. So if I would summarize everything overall, for Armory versus Northridge, so for Armory as a solo, you want to control the power position and as you're moving it around.
As a solo, controlling the power position is nice. So being able to sit in radar is nice. But it's a lot better as a squad. Now I say that because there are still lots of angles. Since it's the middle of the map, there's like 5 or 6 different ways people can approach radar. And so if you're not careful, someone can sneak up onto you. Now, on Armory, more as a solo, I think I'd prioritize trying to get into the bunker. But
right.
I don't know what usually as a solo, I run straight for radar station, and a lot of the time I do kill people trying to run into a hole in the wall or tank entrance. So yeah, so I guess yeah. Sorry, as a solo, yeah, holding the power positions as well does help, especially if people are trying to go and say, for example, tank entrance or main. So yeah, so here's what I'd usually do if I was playing Army as a solo, is if I had tank entrance has been activated, if I can get into radar and hold that power position over tank entrance, I will. Because if tank entrance goes inside, then I can always go back and watch gas station. However, if I see hole in the walls being activated, usually I will push that purely because I think it's such an easy entrance to push if you know what you're doing.
Right, I see. So I would gather in Armory, the correct approach as a solo is, well, let's say you spawn in gas station or the barn or the spawn hill or radar station. So let's say you're in gas station or barn, you would want to loot that location first and then rotate out towards, so from gas station to the hospital, and then take control of radar, check information there, and then move to the bunker later. And then from barn, you'd loot there and then move slowly to the bunker. But if you're closer, because there's 2 ways you can play, you can move really fast and try and get in the bunker from wherever you spawn, or only go in fast when you spawn closer.
I think I'll agree with that. So what I do really fast, generally, if I spawn in by blue tents up or spawn, if I spawn blue tents, radar, or spawn hill, I will try and go to hole in the wall. If I spawn by tank entrance, like the really close tank entrance spawn, or I spawn at the outpost, I will still try and prioritize going to tank entrance. Now, if I spawn at the river gas spawn, I will also try to go for hole in the wall, because a lot of the time another team will get there before you do, and you can fight them. And like I said, if you're confident, if you know what you're doing, you can wipe people at hole in the wall really easily.
Right.
Now, if I spawn at gas station or outside barn next to sluice, I will usually take my time to go inside, because I will not be the first one there. By the time I get to any entrances, there will be a third party waiting a lot of the time. So
I'd gather as a solo, once you spawn at gas station or barn, you could wait a little bit, make sure there's no spawn close by. Then you would loot there and then move towards the bunker or radar first and then the bunker, gathering info, and then moving into there and engaging the team. And all the others, you can move straight towards the bunker and engage a team who is there or take the bunker.
yes.
And then from there, you would loot. Well, you'd go around, loot the high value locations. If you killed a team there, you'd loot them first and then do that, and you leave the bots that you don't need to take out alone as a defense. And then after that, once you looted everything, then you would go to the extract. You wait to last as long as you can, and then you go in the last minute. So you wait as long as you can near the stairs or somewhere, watching for enemies to show up, and then you extract from there. Then for Northridge, you spawn in to, if you're not close to the hotel, then you'll be wary of where enemies could be the initial team and watch for them for a while. If they don't show up, then you'd loot your location and then move slowly to the next area where the main loot area is, whether that's the hotel or cable cars. Now let's say you hear shots and there could be a third party. So as you're looting your location, then you become aware and focus on that. But if you don't hear anything, you'll assume they're not going to appear and loot your location and your kills. Now let's say you fight a team and they were in the open, you'll take smokes and just loot them fast, because if there's a third party, they may show up if you take too long. And it's unlikely, since the map's so huge, that if you kill someone near your spawn, that there'll be a third party showing up quickly.
Yeah, I agree with that on Northridge.